Okay, back to the Grandstand Hawk. We've already done the transmitter, so we're now set up the receiver. I've just cleaned the controls using Service-Sol. A bit scratchy. Not surprised after 30 years. Switch the signal generator to a low level. As ever, I'm looking at an oscilloscope and a synod meter. The first thing on the receiver, it says here, just turn that volume down, it's a bit loud. First thing to do, it says here, is to look for test point 3. And test point 3 is capacitor 63. Capacitor 63 is just there. I'll just zoom in for you. Capacitor 63 is just in the shadow there, that one. Okay. I seem to recall it's the lower of the legs, we'll see. No, it's the higher of the legs, it would be, wouldn't it? And then what we need to do, just zooming out slightly, is to adjust L2. And L2, I really need to have these hands the other way around. Is for peak. And that is peak. Okay. So just zoom out a bit from there. Now it's a straightforward setup. L14 and L14 is there. L15, which is the one down here. Followed by L16. L16 is the one under the wiring just there. L17 is the one to the left. As it's improved, I'll need to back the signal generator off. And that's followed by L18. L19, L11 is sorry, L19 is wrongly labelled on my manual as L11. And then L20. And then the detector, setting the signal generator to S9 and putting the other camera on for you and looking for the maximum waveform. Just try and move the light away from the screen. Just turn the volume up so you get a better waveform. And L21, which is lurking somewhere under this wiring, there we go, for maximum. Now that's a huge improvement. So I bet this radio is quite garbled. It'd be a bit deaf because it's all the receivers needed realignment. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to set VR3 to read S9 on the signal meter. So we've got a 100 microvolt signal on the signal generator, and so we're looking at VR3, and VR3 is one of these horizontally mounted ones again, which is just there. I'll tell you what, that didn't really need adjusting. It was 8 and a bit. Well, there we are, it's now 9. Now it's the squelch control. We'll set the signal generator off, set the squelch to threshold, switch the generator back on. That's a bit stronger than I would expect. Anyway, I'm going to switch the squelch to full, which I've now done. Turn up the signal generator. That comes in just over plus 30. I'm going to back that off slightly. And it's VR2, as I mentioned, and again it's one of these vertically mounted ones. It's at the back there. Try and get the tool into there. It's a resistor right in the way. It's not working how I want it to. That's better. Right, we'll start those tests again. Signal generator off, threshold, signal generator on. That's better, that's more how we want. Squelch to full, and the generator's coming in at plus 9, so that's a bit weaker than it had come in at. It was just that bit too strong. And that, as far as I can think, concludes the receiver part of the Grandstand Hawk. So the next thing to do is to put that together and see whether we can find somebody on.